everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Andy. I hope you're doing really well wherever or whenever in the world that you are. Today I'm going to be doing something pretty unusual for me anyways, and that is talking about my January TBR. To my very core, I am a mood reader, and so creating TBRs are tricky for me because it adds this element of pressure and stress that I don't like when I'm reading. I really love the flexibility and the freedom to kind of pick up whatever tickles my fancy in the moment. And so TBRs can be challenging for me. They make reading feel like homework, and they're just not typically my cup of tea. However, for January, I am feeling quite disorganized and a little overwhelmed by the amount of books that I want to read. And so I thought creating a little structure to my reading might just give me some direction and at least a place to start. I probably won't get to all of these books on this TBR that I'm going to talk about today, but at least it's something. For this TBR, I have kind of 4 categories of types of books that I am hoping to get to this month. The first book are my must reads. These are the 2 books that I have for book clubs that I'm in, so I must read them. The first book that I've got to read in January is Honey and Spice by Bolu Babalola. Now I'm really excited to read this. This is for the book club I'm in at work. Last year we read her short story collection called Love and Color, which was kind of her version of these retellings and reimaginings of mythical love stories from around the world, and I loved it. I thought every short story was beautiful and I loved her writing. So I'm very excited to pick up her first debut novel. All I really know about this one is that I think there's a little fake dating situation, which I love. So I'm very excited to pick this one up. The next book that I must pick up in January is The Keeper of Lost Things by Ruth Hogan. I think that's the author's name. And this is for my book club called Broads Who Book with my sister, my mom, and our family friends. And this is my mom's pick. So let's see how she does. This is another debut novel for this author, which is exciting. And again, I know next to nothing about this plot. I know that this literary fiction novel has a little bit of romance. I think there's some elements of magical realism, and it's quite short, which I love. This one I'm very curious about because I think the cover's beautiful. I know next to nothing about this one. I've heard next to nothing about this one. So yeah, I'm not sure how it's gonna go, but I'm filming this video on January 8th, and our book club is less than a week away, so I gotta get to it and gotta get to it quickly. This next section are books that I feel like I have been reading for 100 years. I've slowly but surely making my way through them, or I kind of unintentionally or accidentally soft DNF'd them earlier last year, but they're like still on my Goodreads section as currently read or currently reading, and I just, it's stressing me out how long these books have been like on the forefront of my mind, and so I'm ready to find closure and read these. The first one is The Women of Chateau Lafayette by Stephanie Day. This is a book club pick from the Bibliophile Biddies, the group that I'm in with my best friends from college. We got really distracted by the holidays, and so I actually don't know when we're holding this book club meeting. And I think that also big question mark is stressing me out because like, what if we decide to do it like tomorrow? I haven't read it yet. So I gotta get this finished. In this historical fiction novel, we're following 3 main female point of views, and each character exists at a different point in time in history, but they are all connected by this one place. I am really enjoying each unique character's point of view. I love all of their voices. I think they all have really interesting storylines. I'm currently about a third of the way through. It's just been taking me a really long time. I do think it's quite a slow, meandering story, but it's starting, I can start to see these characters' lives and how they might connect. And so I am very intrigued. I'm really enjoying the writing style. And yeah, I think it's pretty good. I've seen a lot of really high ratings, a lot of 5-star reviews. And so I think I'm gonna end up really liking this in the end. I just gotta get to the finish line. Frances has the zoomies right now. I'm so sorry if you can hear her like running around literally. The next book that I feel like I've been reading for 100 years is Harrow the Ninth by Tamsyn Muir. Now, I read Gideon the Ninth back in November, and I don't want to let too much time pass in between these sequels or in between this sequel. And so I've been slowly like picking it up from time to time. I'm about 10% in, and in typical fashion, I am very confused, but I'm kind of okay with that. I'm just kind of leaning into the nonsense that is this book, and I'm just excited to get to the end where all these pieces finally come together. So I'm really enjoying it. It doesn't have quite as much humor from the start as Gideon did. Like Gideon's character, her voice, her perspective was so amusing to me. And Harrow, I'm enjoying, but it's different. So yeah, I'm curious. I'm gonna read it hopefully this month. The last book in this category is Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson. Now, I bought this in a mini book haul sometime last fall. I started it kind of right after I bought it because I was really interested in the plot, in the premise. And then I don't know what happened. I think I just got distracted by other books, other things that happened in my life, and I totally forgot about this book, aside from the fact that I see it every time I open up Goodreads because it's at the top of my currently reading section. So I must finish this book. This book follows siblings, Byron and Benny, as they reconnect after their mom dies. Their mom leaves them this very interesting and unique inheritance, which is a black cake. It is made from a family recipe, and there's this voice recording that comes along with it. And so I think this story is going to be about how these two siblings kind of reconnect and they learn about their mom's life, their family history. I think there's a little bit of a mystery element to this. But yeah, I'm excited to read this, and I just need to follow through. I just need to do it because I've heard great things about this book. I feel like anyone I've talked to who has read this has given it 5 stars. It's like an all-time favorite, or it was a favorite of the year. And so I really want to get to this. I need to prioritize it for January. The next section for this TBR are new books, which Lord knows I don't need, but I get excited and I can't help myself. And again, I'm a mood reader, and so these have come up because I'm in the mood to read them right now. So one of them is The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. I'm forgetting who the author is, but it was recommended to me because it has a similar tone and sense of humor as the Veronica Speedwell mystery series. And I was like, yes, that's all I need to know. I'm gonna read that series now. So I'm gonna do that. I put up a poll on Instagram yesterday too, trying to get a sense of like, should I just stick to what I'm reading right now, or should I introduce something new into my life? And I'm just giving what the people want because people wanted me to start a new book, so I'm doing it, and I'm not mad about it. The other thing I just want to preview in this section is I do have a couple reading vlogs coming up in the next few weeks with kind of like, not a secret TBR, because that sounds so dramatic, but just I don't want to talk about those books here because that would spoil it. So you'll have to tune in later to watch the reading vlogs to see what those specific books are. Now, this last section of my TBR for January, and I think maybe part of my TBR process moving forward throughout the rest of the year, is I'm going to be doing a classic TBR jar. Although I did a great job last year reading the 22 books I wanted to read in 2022, tackling a good portion of my physical TBR, and I did an okay job reading some of the new releases I was excited for, but I didn't do as well as I was hoping, and I think that's because sometimes it just got lost in the sauce of the year. And so to help hold myself accountable and to help stay a little bit more organized, I have these 3 like little baggies of books or book groupings, and so each month I'm gonna try to pick one from each bag, if you will. The first like grouping that I'm going to pick from are those books that are on my 23 books I'd like to read in 2023. So hopefully I'll be able to read at least one of those every month. Ideally, to get through that list, I'd have to read more than that. But we'll see. I'll start with one, and of course, the mood strikes, I'll pick up more. The next are all of my owned books. I kind of mixed and matched. All of the books in this bag are a combination of books from my physical TBR, my Kindle TBR, and my audiobook TBR. So I've got all those owned books in one little bowl. And then the last one are series I want to read. For some of these series, it's the first book in that series. But for other series, it's the second, third, or fourth installment in the bag. So we're gonna pick from each one together and see what comes up, and I'm gonna add it to my TBR, and it's gonna be like a loose direction. You know, like I'm not stressed about reading these books, but again, I'm just hoping to give myself a little direction, help hold myself accountable to all these series and lists and things that I want to read this year. So this is my attempt. I'm hoping to eventually include a little bag of your guys' recommendations. So I'll be able to choose each month one of your recommendations or book or series that you all would like for me to read. So definitely come follow me over on Instagram, because I think that's where we're gonna put up those postings and those polls. So all that to say, let's pick the books. All right, my first go is gonna be, I think this is my, I forget, I should have labeled them. I think this is my, I think the green is, these are the books from the list of 23 books I want to read in 2023. So I'm gonna shake it up. Can't see anything. Let's see. Okay, what does it say? Is it upside down? Ooh. Oh, interesting. Frenchman's Creek by Daphne du Maurier. Great. I want to read this one. All I really know is that this is a piratey kind of book. I think there's a little bit of romance, some adventure. Great. I love it. I'm going to pick this one up. So add this to the list. All right, this next bowl, this is the series. These are the installments of the series I want to read. Now, this is just my mixing bowl that I'm using right now. If you know of any like cutesy bookish bowls out there, maybe leave a link in the comment section down below, because this is so boring. So if you know of anything, holler. Okay, what series am I gonna start or jump right into this month? All right, let's see. All right. I don't know if I'm in the mood to read this one. We'll have to see. I did buddy read this with my sister and Amber from work, so I'll have to connect with them. This is Shorefall, which is the third book in the Founders Trilogy by Robert Jackson Bennett. And so this is gonna have to be a group decision. So I did pick this, but we will see, because I don't know if they're gonna be in the mood to buddy read and finish this series out. But if they are, hopefully we'll get to it. All right, this last one, these are all of my own books. I tried to do them in a mix of colors, just because I thought, just because visually I was tired of only looking at the same colors. So again, this is a mix of books that I own on my shelves that I haven't read, the ones I have on my Kindle that are unread, and books that I have the audiobook, like I purchased the audiobook on Audible that I haven't read yet. So let's see, which one are we gonna do? Okay, here it goes. It is, oh boy, we love to see it. Okay, Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas. This is a book I have the audiobook for. So, looks like I'm gonna be continuing on in Throne of Glass series. Oh wait, but this is a series. You know what? I guess there's just gonna accidentally be a little bit of overlap, which is fine. It is what it is. So anyways, I do own this book, so I'm gonna read it and tell you my thoughts. All right, I'm gonna try and compile at least the physical books that I've named today. I'm gonna see which ones I have and show you what they look like. It's literally only this one. This is the only book of the ones I've talked about today that I physically own with me right now. So pretend this is a big old stack. Maybe there's a way for me to like, I don't know how to do it. But anyways, that's my TBR for January. Stick around. I don't know if I'm gonna get to some or all or none of these books. It's gonna be an adventure. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new, like if you're just stumbling upon me and this little random January TBR, go ahead, click that like and subscribe button. It really helps support the channel. If you are a subscriber and continue to join me week after week, I appreciate you guys so much. This has been so fun. So anyways, if you made it to the end, go ahead and leave, I guess a cake emoji, because this is the only physical book that I own. So yeah, go ahead, leave a little cake emoji to let me know you made it here. Have a wonderful rest of your day or morning or evening, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.